Hello, everyone, and welcome to the College2Career's virtual college fair. We're so excited to have you participating in this event. This is the healthcare session. We have some fantastic schools here with us today. My name is Sarah. I am the facilitator. Before we get started, a few housekeeping items for you. This is a webinar. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. If you'd like to ask questions, and we encourage you to ask questions to our wonderful presenters, we ask that you use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time throughout the presentations today. We do encourage you to list the institution that you're asking the question to if you do have a particular question. This is just one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to check on the schedule on the website to sign up for more. And this presentation is being recorded and will be available at college2career.org. I'd now like to turn it over to our first presenter, Heidelberg University, and over to you, Ethan.
All right, thank you. Give me just 1 second to share my screen. Okay. So Heidelberg University is a small private liberal arts school in Tiffin, Ohio. It's kind of northwest Ohio, for those that don't know. To sum up a few fast things about the university, we do have around 1,100 students each year. It's very small class sizes. We have a 13-to-1 student to faculty ratio and an average class size of 17. We do have 83% of our faculty having the highest degree available in their fields. You know that you are learning from experts. 92% of our students are involved in something outside of the classroom. That last thing on the screen, the 84%, that actually changed to 88% recently. So we do have an 88% acceptance rate into medical schools for students within their first year graduating from one of our pre-med programs. Just to point out quickly, I know this is more of a focus on the health science program. So with health science, we do offer pre-professional tracks in a wide variety of things, pre-athletic training, chiropractic, dental, general pre-med, a lot of different options there. Those students have shown a lot of success. We greatly credit that to our cadaver lab on campus. It's really uncommon for a school of our size to have a cadaver lab on campus. We do have 3 cadavers on campus at all times that students work with. And because of that small class sizes, that means that you're getting that experience working with them, but you're also getting that experience in a very small group, and it's very hands-on. To talk about a few of the advantages available at Heidelberg, pretty much all of our students undergo some form of student research. Some people take that very far, present at conferences as well. Most of our students are able to study abroad if it's something that they want to do. We only have 1 or 2 majors where it's not really realistic, but about 90% of the students that want to do it are able to do so. We have our honors program, kind of a different approach to our general education, and we do offer a 4-year graduation guarantee. So we want to make sure that students don't spend any more time or money on college than they need to. No one wants to do that. So we do guarantee that our students will graduate in 4 years. Talk briefly about our Heidelberg Career Ready program. It's just to work on some really common workplace skills that a lot of people are lacking in when they first graduate college. So they're listed there. They're all things that employers are really looking for. So we actually take a few days out of every single year, cancel classes, and just workshop these skills a lot. So we have speakers a lot of the time. My favorite one while I was a student here is in the bottom right there, Terry Cruz. He was great. We do have our +1 Advantage MBA program, and this is really great even for students looking to go into the medical field. I know a student who just graduated from here who wants to go into chiropractic work, but he's doing his MBA here before he goes on to school to actually get that education for his chiropractic work so that he has that business background and he can eventually open up his own practice. As far as applying goes, we are a test optional school. The only thing that we require from students during the application process is a high school transcript and a personal essay. As far as affordability goes, on the outside looking in, private schools are always more expensive, but when you look at average cost of attendance after financial aid is factored in, we're still comparable to other larger institutions. At the end of the day, our average cost of attendance is actually only $13,500, not that large $44,000 that you see there. But right away, our academic scholarships, to talk about how we start to get away from that large number, they range from $15,000 to $20,000 a year. You're looking at covering between a third and up to almost half of your cost of attendance. So, and there's other things that lower that price as well. All right. And then there's just some of our basic contact info if you want to reach out to us specifically with any questions or to get more information about anything. Thank you.
All righty, thank you so much. Next up, we have Pacific University, Oregon.
Thanks so much, Sarah. Good afternoon, everybody. Good morning, good evening, wherever you're at. Welcome. Let me share my screen with you. Hopefully we'll have a good time this afternoon. Pacific University, Oregon, and we are located in Forest Grove, which is half an hour west of the city of Portland. So we're not very far away from anything. We're about 30 minutes, depending on how you drive. You could be there faster. We're about an hour from the beautiful Oregon coast. I'm personally a graduate of Pacific. I'm from Hawaii, grew up in Hawaii, came to Pacific, was a longtime coach here at the university, and have been director of admissions for both our physical therapy and occupational therapy graduate programs. We'll talk a little bit more about that. We're 15 minutes from what we call the Silicon Forest up here. We'd like to call it the forest because we are in Oregon. And if you know anything about Oregon, it's very beautiful, a lot of green and lots of trees. So 15 minutes from major companies, major industries. Of course, internships are going to be important. We'll talk about that in a second. This is a sampling of the now 70 undergraduate degrees that we offer here at Pacific University. We just added 3 new degrees this year in sports leadership and management, outdoor leadership, and sports broadcasting. We are very, very powerful in the sciences. The National Science Foundation ranks us as the #1 private research university in all of the Northwest. But even more importantly than that, they rank us as one of the top 8 overall research universities in the Western United States. So Pacific is ranked with schools like Cal Berkeley, Stanford University, and USC, but we're a lot smaller and I feel a lot more personal. So obviously you can see some of the pre-professional tracks here. We offer over 33 masters and doctorates, some of them being our doctorate in physical therapy, doctorate in occupational therapy, doctorate in pharmacy, doctorate in audiology, doctorate in graduate professional psychology, doctor of optometry degree. These are just a few to name them. The Advantage program is really awesome. I think it's really, really important. If you're interested in a program here at Pacific or a health science program, you apply to become an Advantage Scholar after the fall of your freshman year. You've got to have a minimum 3.2 college GPA to enter into this program. Now, obviously, if you're going into one of our top ranked national programs in the health sciences, you've got to be a much better student than that. But this is what you're going to do. We're going to help you with your passport to health professions, your intro to clinical practices. We actually help you with all of your graduate school applications. We help to set up all of your practicums where you're going to have to gain volunteer and observation experience and gain understanding in physical therapy, pharmacy, etc. So we do that. One of the great things about this program is you, as a junior, you would be able to apply as an Advantage Scholar into any one of our graduate programs. And if you're not an Advantage Scholar, you actually can't do that to your senior year, but you get to apply as a junior. And the other piece that's really, really important, if you know anything about the health professions and they are highly competitive, you get a guaranteed interview. So for example, in physical therapy, we have 44 seats in our doctoral program, and we have a few thousand applications every single year. So to have a guaranteed interview is huge. And that's a really amazing program. Internships are actually required here at Pacific University. All of our students are required to do internships. We help to set that up through your academic advisor. Every student has their own personal academic advisor, which is actually a faculty member. Our student faculty ratio here at Pacific University is 10:1. We have about 1,900 undergrads here at Pacific and over 2,300 graduate students at Pacific. Really important to know, there are no graduate students teaching in any classroom at any time. You are taught by PhDs and professors only here. Our average class size is 19 students. So very, very small classroom environment. That would include our 3 largest classes. Over 80 now clubs and organizations on our campus, 14 different performing arts groups. Our performing arts center is actually ranked in the top 14 in the United States, 24 Division III varsity athletic programs, and phenomenal facilities. If you got to come visit us to see it. Academic scholarships, we start, if you are accepted to Pacific University, you will receive an academic scholarship. So they begin at $15,000 a year. and go all the way up to $27,000 a year. Senior Preview Day, we have seniors coming on campus for a visit day. And by attending a Senior Preview Day, both virtually or in person, you will receive a $4,000 scholarship just by attending the event. And over 20 plus different academic and other interest areas scholarships can be anywhere from $500 a year for 4 years, all the way up to $6,000 a year for 4 years. We're Common App only, and of course we are also test optional. If you have any questions, you can reach us right here via email, phone, or text. So it's been awesome chatting with you. Thanks so much for your time, and look forward to answering questions later.
Thank you so much. Next up, we have Western Colorado University.
Great. Hello, everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. Just going to share my screen with you here. So my name is Lindsay, and I'm from Western Colorado University in Gunnison, Colorado. Just wanted to share some really cool information about some of our programs here in healthcare. So about Western in general, we are located in Gunnison, Colorado, about 4 hours from Denver. Our total student enrollment is right around 3,400 students, undergraduates closer to 3,000. Our average class size is 16 students, but the biggest class we have on campus will only hold about 55, so you'll never sit in a lecture hall at Western. We do have over 100 majors and areas of study, over 50 clubs and organizations, and 80% of students at Western receive some sort of financial aid in the form of grants or scholarships, and our mascot is Mad Jack the Mountaineer. Here are some of our STEM-related programs. Specifically healthcare, we've got pre-med, pre-nursing, pre-physical therapy, clinical exercise science, health and fitness, sport and fitness management, and sports psychology. Something that's really unique about Western is that we have a partnership with Rocky Vista University in Parker, Colorado for their early acceptance program. And this is really exciting for students because you are guaranteed provisional medical school acceptance as long as you have a 3.4 GPA from your time at Western, and you actually don't have to take the MCAT to get into this program if you come from Western, which is really exciting. Also, we have a pre-health mentorship program with different physicians, dentists, pharmacy technicians, physical therapists, folks from all over the country that are on our pre-health advisory board. And they are really willing to help students with conversations over the phone, in person. They can provide internships and shadowing opportunities. Or if you just have a question about the profession, they are always there and willing to help. I think another reason that Western's healthcare profession majors are so popular is because we offer a lot of one-on-one patient interaction. So we do have internships available with the Gunnison Hospital that's right across the street from campus. We also have a program that's pretty unique to Western called our Wellness Elevated program, where students can actually meet one-on-one with clients that are in the Gunnison Valley and work on an entire wellness program for them, whether that's a workout plan or a diet plan or some type of movement to help them with whatever they're experiencing with their current situation. So that's pretty exciting that Western can offer that to students as well. And we really encourage you all to come visit campus. We would absolutely love to have you. We have a few different options. You can come visit campus any weekday at 10:30, Saturdays by appointment. And then we also have some preview days available. We have 3 left this year. And if you sign up for a preview day, Western will pay for 1 night of a hotel for you and your family to come stay in Gunnison. So we'd love to have you and love to help you get to campus if you're able to. We also have some virtual events coming up, and you can check all of those out at western.edu/recruitment events. If we've got any students in the room that are seniors, you can apply at any point using our free application code GOWESTERN2022. That will totally waive your $30 application fee. And we are test optional. We are enrolling admissions, so no application deadline. The only things that we require for your application are the application itself and your high school transcripts and any other transcripts from institutions that you're getting college credit for. And that is all that I have for you all today. You can feel free to give me an email or a call or a text if you have any questions come up. But thank you so much for your time. I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you so much, Western Colorado University. Next up, we have study in UK.
Okay, it looks like I'm not allowed to turn on my video, so I'll leave that to you to fix.
Let's fix that. There you go.
Yeah,
My
wonderful.
apologies.
Thank you. Okay, welcome everyone. I'm happy to be here today talking to you about the opportunity to study in the UK. We're going to focus on medicine today, but just so you know, that's not the only health science available in UK universities, because we work with all UK universities. There is a range of options from physiotherapy at the postgraduate level as a practicing profession, all the way through things like masters in public health and lots of counseling, psych, all sorts of things to consider. So because we're coming up to the medicine deadline on October 15th, I wanted to make sure that you're all aware of how that works. So if any of you are interested in studying medicine, you can get started on your applications to the UK. So we're going to start with an intro to who is SI UK, and then look at entry requirements, the application process, a quick list of universities that offer medicine, how you return to North America, and then of course you'll have Q&A later on at the end of the session. So Study in UK is actually an international company. We have offices all over the world, and our North American office is one of the newest. So we work out of Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and we work with North American students from all over Canada and the US. So over the last 17 years, we have sent thousands of students from North America to the UK, and we specialize in medicine and other health sciences in North America, as they tend to be very popular. So why would you go to the UK versus staying in the US for medicine? Well, it's a direct entry program. So you can go straight from high school into a 5 or 6 year medicine degree. And for those of you who are finishing a bachelor's degree, as I assume that would be the case for many of you, you can go into a 4-year graduate entry program. Now, these courses are clinical programs, so they are recognized globally, and they're recognized by the GMC or the General Medical Council. So you can practice in North America with these degrees. It is quite competitive, as medicine school is, because there is a cap on international students, but it is an opportunity to get some international experience and study in one of the best education systems in the world. So entry requirements, there are a few variations here, as we know that there are a number of different processes you can go through in the US. So the International Baccalaureate, they're looking for a minimum of 36 points. And of course, you have to take bio and chem. Biology and chemistry are required for the vast majority of health sciences. So make sure that those are in your background. And then if you're coming out of high school, they're looking for at least 4 APs. Some schools require 5, and they would be at the levels of 5s and 4s. So most of you will have done that in high school, I would assume, if this is the route you're choosing. And of course, they're looking for the SAT with a minimum of 1950. So graduates with a non-science degree can also apply. They're looking for a minimum of a 3.3. And for those looking for a graduate entry course, it would be a 3.6 GPA. So you want to make sure you have an applicable background, but it doesn't have to be a full science degree to apply to medicine. Okay, so how do you apply? Well, you do have to take a standardized test. It is required by all schools in the UK. So some will require the UCAT, which is the UK Clinical Aptitude Test. The last writing date was yesterday. So that will be over for this year, but there's still the opportunity to take the BMAT and apply to a small group of universities for this cycle. And then they also require a certain amount of health experience. So they do want to know that you have exposed yourself to the practice of medicine and you're aware of how the profession works, and you're not just learning about how to be a doctor from Grey's Anatomy or one of those other popular TV shows. So they want to see that you are aware and ready to start your practice. Okay, so what does the application process look like? It is a centralized application system, much like Common App, but not Common App. So the UK has their own system called UCAS, and you can apply to 4 schools through UCAS. The deadline is October 15th. So if you're trying for September 2022, that would be when we're aiming to submit by. We do have 3 schools that are still open outside of UCAS, and these are newer medical schools. So they've only had a few years of graduates, which is why they haven't been required to follow the traditional pathways. So they are still open outside of the traditional application process and do not require a standardized exam. So if you want to extend your applications for medical school, these 3 would be an opportunity to do so. Now you have to write a personal statement. Many universities require you to have a strong statement that talks about your motivations to study medicine, as well as your background and the exposure you have had, so your work and volunteer experience as well. You will need a reference letter, preferably an academic reference from a teacher or professor. However, if you do have relevant work experience, that can be included as well. And interviews start in late December, early January. Some take place in the UK, others are virtual, and it's in the MMI format, so the multi-mini interview, usually with 5 or 6 different scenarios involved. So here are the list of schools that offer medicine in the UK where they take international students. And these are limited to a certain number of applications per university. Now, how do you choose the right school? We look at you as an individual. We help you narrow down the test. We help you with your personal statement. You can choose by price and by accreditation. So you can contact us, we can help you with the application process, and we're happy to narrow down that list of universities for you and take you from beginning to end of the application to ensure you are as successful as possible. So that's studying in the UK. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning, medicine isn't the only option. So if you're interested in physiotherapy, dentistry, nursing, any of those programs, we can help you with those too. So thank you for listening.
Thank you so much. Next up, we have University of Missouri.
All righty. Good afternoon, folks. My name is Tommy Rogers. I am the California admissions representative for the University of Missouri. I'm also an alumni from the University of Missouri, and I'm based down here in Orange County. And today I want to give a very quick overview about our university and then talk shop and talk about our healthcare related majors. First and foremost, Mizzou, we're a large school, D1 SEC East institution. Got about 29,000 students. That's our total population. You look at our undergraduate students, we're at about 19 to 20,000. But even though we're a big school, a lot of resources to give individualized attention, 18 to 1 student to faculty ratio, average class size just under 30 students. We've got Tigers coming from all around the world, more than 120 countries, and California and other big states within the state of the United States. California, Texas, Colorado, Georgia are some of our top out-of-state students where students are coming to the university. We're also unique. Tier 1 institution, as I mentioned, we're also the land grant for the state. So a lot of research funding that comes in that our students can do. Located in beautiful Columbia, Missouri, we are located right in the middle of the United States. We are a college city. We've got about 120,000 people that reside in Columbia. There's a lot of fun things to do downtown. We've got your restaurants, shops. We've got beautiful hiking trails, national parks, and forests, all within driving distance of the University of Missouri and Columbia. And we're also a popular destination for a lot of performers, guest speakers, artists, folks in the academia area as well. Now, we do have a ton of degree programs on our campus. We have over 300, but today I do want to focus on our healthcare related majors. How these work essentially is that if you're admitted to Mizzou, you are automatically admitted into your program, and then to continue into your clinical portion, there is typically an interview process in which you'll have to interview, have a decent cumulative GPA in order to get into that profession. And then typically once you're done with that, you'll continue on into your clinicals. I want to highlight 2 of our most popular healthcare related majors. The first one is going to be the School of Nursing. How this works, as I mentioned, you start off admitted into pre-nursing. There are 3 specific nursing classes that you're going to take, your freshman and your sophomore year. And then once you complete those specific classes, you will interview into the clinical portion. The acceptance rate is typically 50 to 60%. Sometimes it's a little bit higher, sometimes it's a little bit lower. I do want to mention that every student that I have worked with in the past for the past 6 years hasn't had an issue getting into the clinicals. You'll have an academic advisor that's there from you for day one to make sure that you have a competitive GPA. Typically, to continue, you need at least a 3.25, but our average for the past few years is typically a 3.6 cumulative GPA. Once you do that, you'll jump right into your clinicals. We have university hospitals on our campus. We are a research-based institution, so we have a lot of different ways that students can get involved, even before starting their clinicals as well. In fact, the nursing school is right next to the hospital. Typically freshman year, students will start shadowing in the actual hospital without doing their clinicals, which is kind of a cool thing. NCLEX pass rate for first time, 96 to 98%. Second rate is always 100% the second time they take it if they need to. 100% job placement rating. A lot of students going all around the world with those endeavors. Second most popular healthcare related major is our School of Health Professions. We have 9 different clinical professional programs that our students can go into. As with nursing, students start off as pre-health professions. They take intro level classes, and then typically by the time they're done with their sophomore year, again, it's a competitive clinical program to get into. They'll take a look at their GPA. They'll take a look at their involvement as well. But once students are in their clinical portion, there's a ton of different ways that they can get involved. Again, we have our university hospital on our campus. We have different rehabilitation centers, both on and off campus as well. Some really cool stories that I've heard over the past few years of students specifically in California and neighboring states getting into their clinicals and doing some wonderful work. Again, 100% job placement rating. And again, a lot of students too going back to California and a lot of variety of different states with their degree. Most of these degrees are also master's programs too, typically 2+3. So 2 years as an undergraduate, 3 years as a clinical. So for most of these programs, you are going to be having your master's once you are done. And then typically pre-med students, again, you can major in anything you'd like to. You'll be directly admitted into your major. University hospitals, and then we also have a med advisor in addition to your regular advisor as well. So you'll actually have 2 academic advisors that are going to set you up for success to get into med school. Finally, I do want to touch on scholarships. Money is always an important issue. We do have some pretty competitive automatic scholarships for our students. You can apply either with or without a test score. So you can apply traditionally with a test score or without one. And depending on your GPA or test score, you can get in-state tuition for all 4 years, depending on what that looks like. Typically without a test score, 3.7, 3.8, 3.9, 4.0. And then with a test score, 30 ACT or 1360 SAT. That'll shave off about $18.9 thousand freshman, sophomore, and your junior year. And then we do have some wonderful automatic scholarships as well for students in case they don't get in-state tuition for their freshman year. My contact information here, that's me. I've got a beard now, but that is still me. That's my contact information. Feel free to text me, shoot me an email, anything that I can do to get you to go to Mizzou. I'm more than happy to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it back over to our facilitator, and she's going to go ahead and wrap things up for us. Thanks, folks.
Thanks, Tommy. All right, if I could ask all of our wonderful presenters to join me back on camera and unmute themselves. We do a question, a round robin, as we like to call it here. So I'm going to share a question with you, and hopefully you can see this on your screen there. I'm going to ask all of our facilitators to share a little bit of their expertise with you, starting with what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? And we're going to start in the same order as we started earlier. So Ethan, over to you.
My advice is always whenever you are on one of those college visits, say you're with your parents or whatever, you get in that car, you're probably going to fall asleep. So before you do that, write down top 3 things that you did like about whatever school you just were visiting. If there was anything that stuck out to you that you didn't like, go ahead and write that down too. Even if it's Heidelberg, no hard feelings or anything. But you're going to forget a lot of things. You're going to visit, some people visit a couple dozen schools. I think it's definitely good to just keep track of, like, I liked this about this school, this about this one. Some people like me, I only visited 2 before I found my fit. Others visit a lot, and it's hard to keep track of.
And Pacific University, Oregon.
Yeah, thanks, Sarah. I think one thing and really important, don't let price tags scare you. Regardless, if you're looking at a college or university that you're really interested in, apply for scholarships, apply for their academic scholarships or any of those scholarships that they offer. Fill out your FAFSA or your profile that depending on the school, and go through the process. Go through the process and ask questions. But yeah, don't let the price tag scare you, because you don't know what a college or university can do to help you until you've done that and gone through the whole thing and received your financial aid award and worked with your counselors like Tommy or Lindsay or Ethan or Heidi and finding out, okay, what does this really truly mean? So that's my thing for you.
Western Colorado University.
Yeah, specifically for jobs in the healthcare field, I would recommend if you can go shadow somebody in the field that you're interested in, that's a really great way to kind of gauge and see, is this actually what I want to major in, or maybe I want to try something different. So see, like maybe if the schools that you're interested in, if they have anyone that they would recommend. I know Western can certainly recommend folks that you can shadow in your area potentially. So definitely ask those good questions and shadow if you can.
Heidi was studying UK. Oh, we may have lost Heidi for a second. Over to you, Tommy, at University of Missouri.
Yeah, I definitely want to compliment what Uncle Jeff had mentioned. Use this as a resource. If you want to talk to students on our campus, let us know. We can do that for you. You want to talk to faculty members? We can do that for you as well. One of my really good friends who's been recruiting for his university for a while, he always has a saying, and I think it's very true. We're not the admissions of rejections, we're the office of admissions. So specifically, we want to help you make sure that this is a good institutional fit, both financially and then also major-wise as well. So let us know what we can do for you.
Heidi from study in the UK.
Yeah, sorry, I got cut off there. So I always say go with your gut, because all these programs have excellent opportunities for you. They're wonderful campus environments. There's always something exciting about each university. But when it comes down to it, you've got to go with your instinct. Which one feels right? And that's really where you're going to end up at the best university for you. And don't listen to everybody else and their advice about, oh, this one's the best one for that, and this one's the best one for that. If you're feeling good about the university you've chosen, you're in the right place.
Absolutely. And our next question, and we'll start back up with Heidelberg University as well. What's one thing you want students to remember about your school?
I think Jeff touched on it a little bit with Pacific U, but things are personal here for sure. I think that's a big benefit of coming from a small school like say under 5,000. You walk down the sidewalk, everyone that you see says hi, you know most of them. And the thing that comes there, yeah, it's nice from day to day, but there's support there. And that's what really fosters that support. People care about you, they care about your success, they want to know how you're doing, that you're doing well. And I think that that's really important. It really fosters a lot of student success.
Pacific University, Oregon.
Yeah, I think one important thing is to note that by graduation, over 95% of our seniors have a clear and direct path to a graduate program or graduate programs or a full-time career position, and that they're taught by PhDs only here. And internships are important and they are required.
Western Colorado University.
Yeah, I hope that students remember that we have really great mentorship opportunities, both specifically in the healthcare programs. We've got that health advisory board. We also have peer mentorship programs called our EPIC mentors, and they are students, current students at Western that are there to help you through your whole process. So lots of opportunities to get that support that you could need.
Heidi, study in UK.
I would say the benefit of international study is something that is forgotten a lot, and really studying abroad gives you an opportunity to learn more about yourself than anything else. So further education, of course, offers that opportunity, but studying in a new environment that is different to what you've known your entire life really takes you outside your comfort zone and challenges you in different ways. So as a graduate of a UK university myself, I can say that there's no experience like studying in the UK, and I highly recommend it for any and all subjects, especially health sciences.
And University of Missouri.
Yeah, I would say that Mizzou really meets the student with where they're at, whether they've coming in with a lot of different experiences from high school, or students who are still kind of trying to figure out their pathway. That's okay. We don't really bar students' experiences based off of their previous endeavors that they've done in high school. So whether you want to start hitting the ground from day one and start, doing an internship or doing some sort of a fellowship or research opportunity, we'll get you. Or if you're looking to just kind of get an introduction to what freshman year on a college campus is, we'll do that for you as well. So yeah, we'll definitely kind of meet the student with where they're at when they come to our school.
Wonderful. Our last question, what is one myth you'd like to debunk on the college admission process? And we'll start again with Heidelberg University.
I think that, again, Jeff touched on this earlier, but that price tag that you see at a lot of schools, a lot of the time, especially when parents are trying to send their first kid to college, those initial price tags that you see, whether you're at a big school that looks a little bit more expensive, or even the state schools, it's still a lot of money. That is 99% of the time, that's not what you're going to pay to go there. And following through with that entire process and really getting your own financial aid package from all the schools that you're interested in is a much better indicator of what you can pay for college, instead of just looking at those base cost of attendance and saying, I can't go there, that's too much money. If it's too much money for you, then chances are at the end of the day, it's going to be a lot less money than that.
Pacific University, Oregon.
Thank you, Sarah. I experienced this, obviously, I've been doing this for 41 years. Sorry for telling you that. My youngest son applied to Pacific and to be a freshman. He is a freshman here. And he struggled with writing his essay. And I kept saying, son, the committee just wants to meet you. They want to know you. So when you're writing your essay, just be yourself. Obviously have someone check it over, grammar, spelling, all those wonderful things, but be you, because that's what we want to get to know. We want to get to know you. And you don't have to spend 27 hours on it. It's not a dissertation. You don't have to defend it, right? So be yourself.
Western Colorado University.
Yeah, I would say that there's been some confusion around like test optional and what that really means for Western, and it could be different for each institution, but for Western, test optional truly means test optional, both for admissions and for scholarships. So if you would like to submit your test scores, you certainly can, and we'll take them into consideration, but they are not required for anything, even for class placement. We will not need them for anything unless you want to. So it is truly test optional.
Study in UK.
I would like to say that admission in the UK is not all about the numbers. It's not all about your grades or your test scores. They take you into consideration as an individual on a holistic basis. They really do want to know who you are, what motivates you, and why you're applying to their program. They want to see the person behind the paperwork. And that really gives you a better opportunity to get into programs, even highly competitive programs like medicine. So definitely focus some time on your personal statements, on your reference letters, and make sure that you're putting your best foot forward in your application, not just in your grades, but in all aspects, because they do take it all into consideration.
And University of Missouri.
Yeah, I've heard this a lot over the past couple of weeks. A lot of students think that they have to know what they want to do by the time they apply. Obviously, every school's a little bit different, but if you're still trying to figure out, what profession you want to go into, or specifically, even if you want to go into med school, or maybe you want to go down the health professions route, that's okay. Let us help you with that. Again, let us utilize our resources to kind of connect you to the right resources so that you can make a correct decision. But I guarantee you that 99% of the students, especially in your friend group, if they're still trying to figure out what they want to do, then that's the case. That's the reality. So don't be shy. If you're still trying to navigate this process and figure out what you want to do, that's totally okay. I was a business student as an undergrad, loved my degree, worked in the business field, but then I decided I wanted to go into higher education. So I changed my career path a little bit. So I think college is a wonderful resource to figure out who you are, what you want to do. And all of us here today kind of want to help you along that pathway.
And what a great way to end our session. I want to thank our wonderful presenters today for your information, not only on your institutions, but also for the advice and guidance that you gave our audience today. Thank you so much. And thank you for tuning in. When you close this window, there will be a very quick 5-question survey. We'd appreciate any feedback you can provide, and we encourage you to check back to the schedule, sign up for more sessions. You'll be able to find the sessions recording as well as all the other session recordings at college2career.org. Thank you and have a great rest of your day.